Sawadee Chan Meri.
ผมจิรวัตร
And today we're going to be talking about the differences between Thailand and the US, culturally speaking. The first difference I would talk about with Thailand is probably I was really surprised by the toilet because I had never encountered a squatting toilet before, and we went to a rest stop at a gas station and I was like, I can't use this, I'm gonna fall down. And then there was also people have to bring their own toilet paper, and it's not toilet paper, it's facial tissues, and you have to bring them with you, and then they dissolve.
I don't know what to tell you, that's just how it is over there, but that's only in the rural areas really.
Bangkok had more Western toilets. The next thing I'd say would be dogs. There's stray dogs everywhere. You go to 7-Eleven and there's a dog, taking a nap. Well, when we were teaching at that school in Thailand, they had 2 dogs come into the school and they started fighting in front of all these little kids, and I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, I remember that in my childhood.
That was just such a vivid part of my childhood. Dogs killing each other in front of me. Speaking of schools, school lunches were so much different than what we have in the US. It looked really nice in Thailand. It was curries and stir fries with fresh rice and flavored juice, and I was like, in the US, you get a crappy hamburger or a slice of pizza or something.
What some other things that were crazy?
Traffic. When we were in Bangkok, the traffic is crazy. I mean, everybody knows that it's the busiest traffic of, the whole world. And
during rush hour.
Yeah. And, when we were trying to go to your brother's house, which was down the street, it took us an hour. People cut each other off like crazy. Those motorcycles are scary. People just drive like they're willing to die, and nobody has seatbelts either, and a lot of little kids don't have car seats. That was so shocking for me.
They let Buddha take the wheel.
Another thing that was surprising for me was hygiene. Because when you see these street food people, a lot of times, they're touching raw meat and then they're touching raw vegetables and touching everything. And it's, no gloves, or, there's no hand washing station. And that's totally unacceptable here. You'd get in a lot of trouble.
If Thai people get stomach pain, they just take a pill.
Ginger.
Yeah. Drink ginger tea and it'll go away. You just move on and go get some more street food.
Another thing I would say, you hear about how cheap Thailand is, but it kind of surprises you when you experience it firsthand. When we were staying at that resort and I asked the woman that was working there to make me, a special dish because I have dietary restrictions, and she was very understanding and awesome, and so I gave her 300 baht as a tip, and
that's about $10.
And she was blown away by that, and I was like, but she refused me at first. She thought it was too much.
That's how much you get for 8 hours of work labor.
Another thing that was really different was that people live with their family in a multi-generational house sometimes, and that they're so close with their extended family. In the US, that's definitely not the case for most people.
Yeah, I have a lot of relatives, cousins, second cousins all over the country, and we treat each other like actual family, like brother and sisters. So it's kind of nice to have that big family support.
The Thai dancing,
the Thai dancing.
The style of Thai dancing is very strange to see.
As a Thai person who used to live there, I still think it's pretty strange. But at the same time, it's so entertaining.
It is. It's incredibly entertaining to see, the whole.
Yeah.
Another thing is the food.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Food is good.
It's seriously all I eat. I make Thai food almost every night. Yeah, I love the food. I love the combination of flavors.
What's your favorite dish?
Masaman curry. It's really tough to pick one though. Pad see ew. That's my favorite. I say masaman is second. I love pad see ew. I will eat the whole, in the US, you have big portions. So they give you a plate this big, I will eat it all.
Ooh,
I love it. It's so good. 7-Eleven. There are so many 7-Elevens. In Bangkok, there'll be 2 right across the street from each other. And they're also much nicer than they are here. And I feel like they have more stuff. The ones in the US are really dirty. They're not very nice. It's kind of just a whatever place, and you only go there for like little packaged like chips, and that's about
I
it.
don't think 7-Eleven in the US is dirty.
They do have good
Clean.
donuts. 7-Eleven donuts. I'd say that Thai people are very welcoming and like very nice to, you know, outsiders. In the more rural areas, you know, people looked at me, but it was more out of like curiosity than any like malicious intent. And your family was like so nice to me.
Yeah,
like they accommodated my every need and drove me around and like took me out to get my nails done. They were really nice.
Yeah, we like to have visitors.
So what would you say surprised you the most about the US when you first moved here?
Some culture shock right away. The size of Americans. There's obese people, a lot of them.
Morbid, and that goes all the way to morbidly
from
600-pound life.
But then there's also a quite large amount of really fit people as well. So it's weird to see that, where in Thailand it's quite uniform how our sizes are. Another thing that was kind of weirded me out was cheese. In Thai cuisine, we don't use cheese at all.
I mean, you guys are lactose intolerant for the most part.
For someone who's just coming to the US and almost everything has cheese in it, it was kind of overwhelming, right? There was not enough time to get used to it, although now I enjoy cheese a lot. When I was in middle school and high school, I had to, you know, eat school lunches. And in the US, school lunches are not really good. Actually, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
It doesn't seem like the meat is real.
Yeah, I think like McDonald's is like better quality.
Yeah,
than
and I was kind of surprised. Another topic to bring up that culture shock is the size of food portions I serve. Yeah. In American restaurants, you get breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. They come in huge sizes, and it's probably meant for you to take home the leftovers.
Yeah,
but
I think that's how it started. It was like extra for you.
I don't like to take leftover and go back home and put it away. I prefer to just eat it all. It was a challenge to eat all the food. I like it, actually. And you just...
Now you do. He eats way too much.
In Thailand, we don't really have the guns hobbies.
The culture
of having guns and, you know, it's fun. That kind of culture is a lot more popular in the US.
Much more prevalent.
Yeah. And to buy a gun is a lot easier than Thailand. A lot more affordable as well.
I mean, when I've talked to people that are, you know, from Asia, Japan or something, they'll be like, oh, you're American? Do you have a gun? And I'm just like, this is our country's reputation, huh?
Yeah. More about restaurants. The wait staff, they provide really good service compared to a lot of waiters in Thailand. They're a lot more friendly. They come up to you a lot.
They're more attentive.
That's because they need the tip.
Yeah, they're working, you know, they're so friendly and everything because they have to be.
Yeah.
Because they rely on you tipping them to survive, basically.
And tipping is another thing that is quite different from Thailand. In Thailand, we don't tip as a expectation, and in the US, you kind of have to. Yeah. And if you don't, you're an asshole.
Yeah, people will think, you know, the waitress will be like, fuck that.
Right, here it's like 15 to 20%.
20%, and you know, you go to like 15 or lower if they were bad, and if, you know, they did a really good job, you go above 20%.
American people are usually really loud in social occasions, and that's quite different from Thai people. If I'm walking past a stranger on the sidewalk, they'll say hi to me.
Yeah, they'll smile.
And in Thailand, that's kind of odd. Another thing that is really interesting from American people is how they're so expressive about themselves. They're really independent. They like to show who they are, what they are, without being shy about it. Another topic that is quite a culture shock for me is weed and not cigarettes. Cigarettes in Thailand is normal. Who cares if you smoke? But weed is different. Weed is like considered
super illegal.
You will go to jail if you have weed.
Right to jail, right away.
Whereas in the US, it's like...
Where in the US...
Cigarettes are totally socially unacceptable for the most part. I mean, if you see someone smoking, it's like... a lot of people will be like, what, are you stupid?
Yeah,
like,
but if
you're destroying your health. you know.
Yeah, if you smoke weed, that's totally fine.
That's like pretty much completely socially acceptable.
I think that the
weed.
majority of Americans are okay with weed.
Yeah, I mean it's becoming more and more legal. More and more states are legalizing it. We're in one of the states where it's not legal recreationally, but it's legal medicinally.
In American culture, people at the age of 18 start to move out because of just how it is, and it's totally normal. When you're 18, it seems like you want to get out of the house, and
it's like expected of you. Like
you gotta learn to live by yourself, how to make money.
For a lot of people, like if you're living at home over 18, or you have to move back home during or after college, you kind of feel like a loser because you know there's been that expectation your whole life that you know when you're 18 you're out of here.
Yeah.
And that you're on your own. So what do you think about the differences? Are you offended? Are you offended by what I've said?
I'm not offended at all.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, fat, guns, I mean, that's... You're not wrong.
Thai people need to be more hygienic, right?
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. I'm just showing you, telling you what I've seen. So what would you recommend doing and trying if you go to the US?
I'm in the US.
If someone else goes to the US, I mean, I'm talking hypothetically here.
Hypothetically, travel around, see all the iconic stuff like Hollywood, New York City, eat all the big cheeseburgers, all the Texas barbecue, maybe be a cowboy for a day.
Cowboy.
Go to Disney World.
I'd say if you come to the US, you should try one of those little just local diners. Usually have some good food like cheeseburgers and stuff that you can get there.
What's the same thing you would do for Thailand?
I haven't seen too much of Thailand. We've only been once and we only went to 2 places. But there are a lot of really cute cafes that I saw. Very like aesthetically, you know, pleasing Instagram cafes with lots of like nature themes and stuff. And also, you know, in Bangkok, it's such a big city that you can get, you know, food from all around the world. Like the best pizza I've ever had was in Bangkok. So that was all for our Thailand and US comparison and what shocked us personally. Tell us what shocked you if you've visited the US, you know, if you visited Thailand and you're from the US. Tell us what shocked you most. And if you have any ideas for videos, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
ถ้าใครมีคำถามอะไรเกี่ยวกับแมรี่หรือว่าผมนะครับก็คอมเมนต์ลงมาได้เลยนะครับถ้าใครชอบคอนเทนต์แบบนี้ก็ขอให้กดไลค์กด subscribe กดแชร์ด้วยนะครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ